I know, I walk around and I think, why mess with perfection? I mean, my skin's already dialed in. But my yard, that's a different problem. I have these giant issues of areas that are dry. They're really not dry because I give them more water than anywhere else. But without proper amendment of the soil, you can water and fertilize as much as you want. You're not going to get the results that you're really trying to get. I have a problem with thatch. And earlier this year, in the springtime, when I should have dethatched, I didn't. But now we're having some cooler weather for about a week. I'm going to dethatch everything today and try to fix some of these dry spots. If you want to have a beautiful yard, if you want to have beautiful skin, you have to clean it. You have to exfoliate it. And just like our faces, like I do every night, like my wife tells me to every night, we're going to exfoliate the lawn today. And what do I mean by that? We're going to clean up all the excess stuff that's blocking nutrients from getting down into the deep pores of the grass. I'm talking about the soil. We're going to get the thatch. It's a thick layer of all kinds of stuff that collects all year. It's from leaves from the fall that fall down and get all chopped up. It's from grass blades and limbs and all kinds of things that will gather together and create a thick thatch that blocks water from absorbing in. It blocks my fertilizer when I spread it everywhere, and certainly doesn't let sunlight in. Once we clean that thatch out, then it can absorb the nutrients and the lawn can thrive better. Just like our skin. We get rid of all of the impurities, all of the oils and the grime, and then it allows our skin to thrive with proper care. To dethatch, you're simply just raking. You're raking all the thatch up out of the ground. Let's show you what I mean. Look at all this thatch that came up. We can now see the soil itself, and we have patches of grass that are trying to break through. The other problem that you can have is if the thatch gets thick enough, you can have grass seed actually start to grow in the thatch itself and not the soil. And so that's not very lasting, right? The roots won't take very well, and you won't get a very thick, lush yard like you want. We're gonna keep raking this up, get all this dead stuff up. And the other thing you have to do is you have to get rid of it. You can't just rake it up and leave it. It's just gonna filter back down into the soil. So step one of this whole project will be to rake up all of this thatch all over the yard. Step two, we're gonna use my cheat idea. We're gonna use my tractor and my big bagger. The tractor will have its suction that will suck into the big leaf bagger and pull all this thatch up that we break up first with the rake. But I don't want to rake all this either. That is a lot of work. This is a big yard. So I have a dethatcher that pulls behind my tractor, and we'll run it across and get all this thatch up and give some breathing room to the yard. Let's get to it. So we took a break from dethatching because we had friends over. Well, the boys had friends over, and we agreed to take them home, which is what we're doing. But you know what happens? So we are bringing their friends home. Kim decides to walk up to say a quick hello to their mom. That was like 10 minutes ago. We're still sitting in the driveway. Huh, Stu?
Sad.
So anyway, I think we can go to dinner next, In-N-Out. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, this is my dethatcher, and you can tell it's super well used. These are these little tines, and they drag across the grass and pick up all of this thatch. So there's a bunch of these. We're going to run it all across the yard and see how much thatch we can pull up. This will hook onto the front of my tractor, and then we'll lower it into place just like that. Now the problem with this is it needs weight, because without weight it just bounces everywhere and it's not very effective. It might come down and cut into the yard somewhere a little bit, but we want to have a nice even flow. We want these tines to stay in the ground and truly churning up all of that thatch. So we're going to add some blocks here to help with the weight. And I just use these standard cinder blocks. Now I've also learned you have to tie them down because they will try to bounce out and they'll kind of get all broken up as they shake around. I use tie downs, and we're going to keep these very secure. So again, if we keep everything heavy and tight, then it'll flow much easier along the grass. So I'm just going to weave this in. So I'm hitting the bottom of the plate there. And we're just going to hook this back on like this. And use the strap to pull it tight. Okay, it's not going anywhere. So we're just going to stuff the rest of this down here out of the way. Do the second one. And let's pull it through. Regular rope would be fine too, but for me, I like being able to strap it down and making it nice and tight. Easy to take off later. Okay, I'm just gonna put the excess down here, then we'll hook it up to the tractor. Look how much thatch I brought up. Now, I don't have near as much thatch as a lot of people because I do this at least 2 times a year. And the first time I ever did this was just an incredible amount. But it's been getting better and better. Still, I want to get any of the extra excess up out of the ground so that I can get some better nutrients down into the soil more quickly. Over here, under this tree, you can see how many leaves it turned up. Now, eventually these leaves would decompose, but that just adds to more thatch. Again, the thicker the layer of thatch gets, the harder it is for nutrients to penetrate to get down to the soil. Okay, I've got all the thatch up. Found a lot of old stuff that kind of settled during the winter. So I'm glad to get it up and give the soil a chance to really breathe. So now to clean it up. Now there are 2 options. You can get a rake and you can get a big bucket and you can keep raking and putting into buckets. But frankly, that would be miserable. So I'm going to use my tractor and my bagger that goes with my tractor that I use for leaves and grass clippings. And we're going to suck all of this thatch up and bag it, and then I can take it off to our dump pile. It's our time to mow for the week also. So we'll also be mowing our standard mowing. So I'll have some grass clippings in there as well. And so we're going to start right now, and we'll start on one side of the yard and go through and slowly. I go a little bit slower when I'm picking up thatch because I want to make sure that we're really sucking up as much as we can. A lot of it's been loosened up because of the teeth of the Dethatcher machine. Now we want to make sure that we're getting a lot of suction. And so I'm also going to mow one level lower than normal. Not everybody will agree with me on this, but I think it's more important to really get as much of the thatch up and out as you can, because what you don't pick up is going to very quickly settle back down into the soil.
She's like a fantasy, way too real for me. Better just admit that I can't handle it. And when we're getting close. She strikes the perfect pose. It's too hard to quit. Can't get enough of it. And I hear people say, oh, he's just a fool, and she loves to play. I already knew she's forbidden fruit. I need to stay away. Run, 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 run. I'm trying to forget her, but my heart will never let her go. Run, 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 run. I wish I never met her. Trying to keep control, I gotta run, run, run. Ooh, yeah. She plays a dirty game, but who's the one to blame? Better just admit that I can't handle it. And when she hits me up, I know that this must stop, but it's too hard to quit. Can't get enough of it. And I hear people.
Dethatching really helps expose any problems in the yard. And it's great because when you dethatch, it makes a mess. Your yard looks horrible. It's just a mess of all kinds of leaves and limbs and dead grass and crabgrass that comes up. All kinds of stuff that just makes your yard look messy, look ugly. But after you dethatch and then after you mow it all in the same day, it turns back into just a beautiful, lush looking lawn. And already it feels more airy. So I love dethatching. You can't do it too often because a slight amount of thatch is good. It does help to hold in moisture, especially when it gets hot in the summertime. But too much thatch, again, as we discussed, will inhibit nutrients such as fertilizer, water, and sunlight from entering in and doing its magic on the roots that are in the soil. So we have a step 3 today, kind of a bonus step. It's my belief that whenever you dethatch and do something like this to the yard, it's a perfect time to introduce some sort of fertilizer or grass seed and overseed. And today I've decided to overseed. It's a little late in the spring. Normally I like to do it early spring. We just haven't had time, and we're going to have cooler weather for this week. So I'm going to go ahead and do an overseed of our tall fescue that we use everywhere here. And we'll do that now. And the benefit of doing it now is the yard is freshly clean because beginning immediately, the thatch will begin to build up again. A little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. But nonetheless, now is the most open, clear time for the seed to get down to the soil. So we're going to overseed now and try to get that embedded quickly into the soil so we can get some good growth. Today I'm using Scott's Turf Builder Grass Seed Tall Fescue Mix. It grows deep roots for a durable, livable lawn. I'm hitting this spot especially hard, obviously, because look at it. And you can see all the grass seed in there. As soon as we finish spreading all the grass seed, I'm going to turn the sprinklers on and help these little grass seeds to start to move towards the soil and hopefully embed pretty quickly. That's it, folks. Hopefully we'll have a much healthier yard after all this work today. Emmett, remind us what the 3 steps are in what our projects was today.
First, you have to dethatch the lawn. Second, you have to rake it up. And third, you have to fertilize or reseed.
That's exactly right. So we have everything dethatched. We scooped it all up with our mower bagger, and then we overseeded today. And we'll give lots of water, and we have lots of sunshine now, so hopefully we'll have a much deeper, thicker lawn as time goes on. Anyway, hope everybody has a great week. And by the way, happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there. Take care. Bye-bye. What's this? A micro needler? Ooh, it's like aerating your lawn. Next week.